Welcome, welcome. This is my favorite mortgage podcast. I am Jaimie Booth, a licensed loan officer here in Arizona. Today we have a returning guest. I'm just going to put it / co-podcast host because he has been on the most times. You're our record.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Thanks again for coming. We have Mike Kingma here with us, licensed realtor in Southern Arizona.
Thank you so much for having me here. Once again, it's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Happy Friday.
Yes. Happy Friday.
And we are experiencing some sort of storm, and it got down 55 degrees. I was freezing outside.
That sounds like back home for me. I'm telling you, the Pacific Northwest is coming in with a vengeance.
Yeah, this is definitely coming in from the north, and we have lots of wind and rain, and we were at 80 degrees last week.
Right? I mean, we were at 80 degrees, and all of a sudden it just drops another 35 degrees, and it's like, all right, well, as I would always put it, this is how people get sick.
Yes.
You go from hot to cold, hot to cold. It's like,
in one day.
Exactly.
One afternoon. Well, thank you again for coming on. We've got some topics that we want to touch base on, especially around tax season time. But before we get into that, I got to tell you, yesterday I was actually arrested for stealing kitchen utensils. Really? It was a whisk I was willing to take.
Oh my God.
It was a whisk.
That's fantastic. Oh my God. Okay. We're hitting it right off.
Yeah, I saved these just for Mike because he's the one that appreciates them the most. I don't have even good dad jokes. I'm like, ooh, that's a good pun.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, let's be honest. I may have one or two. I had to write them down.
Okay.
There was just no way I was going to be able to remember these off the top of my head. It just popped off. It's like, ooh,
I have to
remember
write them
these.
down too.
God bless. Seriously. Here's a good question for you.
Okay.
Where do boats go when they get sick?
I don't know. Sea doctor. I don't know.
The boat dock.
That's a good one. I like that one. Once I had a conversation with the dolphin.
Yeah?
Yeah, we just clicked.
Flipper to that one.
It's Friday, guys.
Flipper Friday.
Our brains are fried, so yeah. You got one more?
I've got one more for
you.
It's kind of more of a conundrum, if you will. So if money doesn't grow on trees, then why do banks have branches?
Good point.
Anybody can ask that?
Can
anybody answer that for us? Why do they?
Yeah.
If money doesn't grow on trees, then why do banks have branches?
Yeah, I can't answer that for you. I loved working in a bank branch, though. It's one of my favorite. I spent a lot of time. My career before mortgage was in banking. So there's a lot that you guys don't see behind the scenes. And man, we have so much fun. We would, be playing with a shipment, right? Mm-hmm. We would get a shipment of, $1 million. Mm-hmm. And we would have to count the large bills. We'd have stacks and stacks of hundreds and fifties that we would have to hand count.
Oh, wow.
And after years and years of it, the money became just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
When I first got into it, I would see these stacks and these rows of, 20,000 20s to fill the ATMs. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Dad, I saw 500,000 in cash today. It was so cool. And then when I got just years, I'd be like, oh, God, shipments here. Mm-hmm. Because those hundreds, it became just my job.
Yeah.
It was so weird. But find one $100 bill on the ground, and your day is just made.
Yeah.
But have to count, 500,000 in ones or in hundreds. It was awful.
So you had to count everything by hand, and you couldn't use one of those Cummins machines where it would just
we could do those with 20s or less.
Man,
and the reason why, guys, is here's a little banking secret. We would get this shipment from another bank, Wells Fargo was a big money handler. So Wells Fargo would ship us our funds that we ordered to Citibank. And all the 20s usually went to ATMs. We could put it through the machine.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we would get ripped ones. We would get 75% of one. We got counterfeits every single week. So we needed to then charge back to Wells Fargo. You shorted us.
Yeah.
The hundreds and 50s had to be hand counted. So put it around like holiday time.
Oh.
And it always was, we called it dual control. 2 people had to do it. I would count all the hundreds, pass it on to my head teller or my banker.
Yeah.
So we had to count it twice. It took hours.
Oh man. So that had to have been almost like Lunar New Year. You know, when you get the red envelopes.
Yep.
Getting hundreds, 50s, big
It
bills.
was awful when it was new bills too, because man, they stuck. So we had this pink sticky stuff.
I've seen that, like
Yes.
at the grocery store. It seems like they'll have like a little round tube, and it's just kind of.
It's tacky, and I got really good at them.
And then you got those people that are just like,
Yeah.
do that. It's like, you know what, get out.
I was not calling them for dual control then.
It's like,
I
you know what,
needed the
get out.
fastest one in there because it took so long.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you'll see people behind a teller line. You're like, what are they doing? Well, they're in dual control, so you can't get away from whatever task that is, because then you would be leaving one person and you would like fail an audit.
Yeah.
So they're doing something, and it's usually counting the damn shipment.
Oof. Oof. Just brutal. I don't envy you for that.
But man, I loved bank life. It was great. it really was. All right. Any movies you've seen recently?
Ooh, movies. It's funny because I would say the latest movie that I watched, Wicked.
Oh yeah. What'd you think?
I liked it. We saw the play at the Centennial Hall prior to, and then my wife saw it with her girlfriends for her birthday, and just had a great time with it. And I've always wanted to see it, just because I've heard so many good things about it.
Yeah.
And then finally watched it, and I was like, this is awesome. They did a really good job with it.
I have to confess, I have not seen the movie.
Okay.
I have seen the play on Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
probably 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me cry. The musical on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I need to. I just haven't had a chance.
That's
But
all right.
I will do that one.
Maybe this rainy day might force you to head home, watch a movie. And,
I need to wait till it's free.
Okay, well, that's fair. Yeah, if it's free, that's fine.
Right?
Free is good.
Right now you can rent it and it's like $10. No, I need to wait till it's free. So I'll give it a little bit more time.
Yeah, wait till it's free $99 and then you're golden.
Yes.
Yes.
So a movie I recently saw was a recommendation from a friend of mine, and it's called The Gorge.
Ooh. Okay.
It's on Apple TV. It was good.
That's a
It's
good one.
got what is his name? Tiller. He was in the Top Gun movie.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch it.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Not what I expected, but The Gorge.
Okay, The Gorge. Add to the
So
list.
Apple TV, if you're listening, I just gave you some promos.
There you go. We'll collect those royalties now.
Yes. You can send the check to my office.
There you go.
All right. So, Mike, do you want to share what happened in the last 24 hours with our client?
Oh, yes.
Because this is going to be one of my favorite mortgages.
Oh, this is going to be super, super cool. So we were super excited to work with, this was a referral from my wife, actually. She's been looking to buy her first home and everything that's with it. And she actually ended up going to a new construction unrepresented. And that's when she called me to tell me, hey, something's not right. Mm-hmm. And when we asked for all the documents that was with it, and I said, I'm not representing you that's on this, but you might want to send this over to me to kind of take a look at it and see what's going on.
A second opinion.
Yeah. And honestly, she was just being taken to the cleaners every which way that was on it. And they still pre-approved her, even though she didn't have very much set aside in savings. So it was an unfortunate circumstance, and so I just said, you know what? No, let's take a step back.
Right.
Let's get you pre-qualified with Jaimie here, and let's see if we can get you into a down payment assistance program. Because she's been at her job for 6 years, just kicking butt and taking names, and she's wanted to make the leap of faith into home ownership, and she's 23 years old. That's awesome. Like, when I was 23, all I was thinking about was, hey, here's my rent check. I'm going to go meet you over here at this restaurant or that bar, whatever the case may be. I was having fun. For her at 23 to think going from that to, I want to buy a house, that's awesome.
It was weird having to put in her birthday, and it started with 2, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting old.
Screaming in 20th century.
Yep.
That hurts. I'm in the 1900s.
I love when the younger generation, I mean, because she's Gen Z, right?
I think so, yeah.
She's got it on her mind, and she's put in the work to get it there. Long, stable income, great credit, a little bit saved, but not quite there. So that's when we want to kind of go, let us take you to that next step. Let's see what kind of programs are out there.
Yeah.
So we got her pre-approved. She was so fast with her documents, guys.
Incredible. Like,
yes.
I remembered you were texting me afterwards, like, she's fast. Like, anything I asked for, she gave it to me. It's like, this is awesome. She streamlined everything. It was just like, see, time is so critical when it comes to stuff like this. Because when lenders are asking for this stuff, it's like, sometimes people wait until the very last second to do it, and then it gets delayed, and then it's like, what happened?
Right.
But in this case, this worked out super cool because not only did we find the house that she wanted, it had a recent price drop, which was overseen by everybody, and she loved it so much that she made an offer.
Yes.
Called you up and I said, hey, let's get this offer put together. Can you send me the prequal? Within 5 minutes, Jaimie had it sent over, and we fired it off to the listing agent, let them know, hey, this is what we want. And they said, yeah, if you come up a little bit on the purchase price and you still get everything that you want, perfect.
Which made an $11 difference in her payment. That little bit so that we could get the offer secured. I'm like, from what we offered versus what they were looking for, it made an $11 difference.
That's insane. Like, that's insane. So $11 difference. And then on top of that, her close of escrow, which we just found out as of last night, she got the house. So it's ready to go. She just has to deliver earnest money. But the greatest thing in the world is that we were able to secure, April 8th was the close of escrow date, which means her first payment's not going to be due until June 1st. That's insane. So she'll have almost
2 months.
Almost 2 months of just squirreling away as much cash as possible before that first payment, so she can do whatever she wants in the house. That's awesome.
We got the seller, even that little bit coming up, got all of her closing costs covered. I was like a Taylor Swift concert this morning. I had my other loan officer, and we were on a Zoom, and she was just reading me off the info, and I'm just entering it in. And because the money came available at 9 a.m. this morning.
Oh my gosh.
So I was here early, and I just kept making sure my password's good. I can log in. Okay. All systems are go. And then me and Desi, I'm like, okay, T-minus 4 minutes. I'm like T-minus 1 minute. And then at 8:59, I had logged in, and I'm like, refresh, and it was a go. And then I'm like, what year was it built? What's the credit score? And so Desi's just reading me off her information so that we can get this money.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because it is a below market interest rate. It is 6% even for a down payment assistance.
That's insane.
Yes.
That's huge.
Covers her entire down payment. You got all her closing costs covered. This girl is doing the stuff we talk about, and we please let us talk to you. Let's get you into home ownership, because there's so many ways we can be creative. Like, good for her. 23 years old. Man.
Seriously. And I wish when I bought my first house in what was it, 2017, that option wasn't available for us. We didn't have down payment assistance. There was no way. So we had to pull from a 401k to be able to make the down payment possible. And that's another source. If you don't have cash readily available, there's options for you to get your money that you need to buy a house.
That's how I bought my first house.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of guidance when I bought my first house. And so I didn't know to even look at programs. Nothing was really mentioned to me. Nothing was ever presented as, hey, we have these programs. It was pre-approved and go get the money out of your 401k. I took a loan out.
Okay.
And that was me paying myself back the interest out of my paycheck stubs, which, guys, it doesn't affect your debt to income ratio. Ooh. So if you take a loan out, we're good to go. But I love that you are so up to date and aware of the different programs. And I work that way too. Let me give you a couple options. And this girl, really hit the jackpot because I got her, and I actually was fortunate enough to be able to secure a second client into this program.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was done reserving the 2 by 9:06.
Wow.
Okay, 9:06.
Okay.
When I checked right now, before we started recording, it was $23 million of purchase price, down payment assistance. By 9:24, there was only 10 left.
10 million left?
Yes.
Wow.
We have gone through half of that money within 20 minutes.
Oh my God. That's
so
fast.
It was. This is why I prepare. I've gone through this program. This is the 7th release. I've gone through this time and time again. I had to learn my lesson the hard way of being ready and setting up a support team to just fire off the info. And the night before doing all my research and getting it all ready.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure by the time we're done recording, there won't be any funds left.
I believe it. And then it's just a wait and see approach.
Yeah.
If contracts fall, then it just goes right back into the pot.
They do have a wait list for that very reason. So yes, some will fall out, or maybe the loan doesn't actually get approved. Maybe there's problems with appraisal or inspections. So there'll be a wait list, but that you need to do it today.
Yeah. I mean, time is of the essence.
Yeah.
That's what we deal with every day. Time is of the essence. Get it done.
But you were my first phone call. And
God
I'm
bless
like,
you.
my adrenaline, Desi was like clapping and cheering, and I'm like, we got it. And my hand was,
I love that feeling.
right?
Just the excitement and the adrenaline
So
in your hands.
exciting.
You're just like, oh, this is perfect.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I'm so excited.
So I called you, and I'm like, we got it. I got to make another phone call. And I called the other realtor. I'm like, we got it.
That's perfect. Now you can celebrate.
Oh, God, what a day. What a day. Yeah. It's going to go down as one of my most memorable. So
I'm so excited.
yeah, we got it. And I don't think the clients even are aware of the fire drill that has to happen from their loan officer. If their loan officer slept in today, they're not getting it.
Nah.
So, yeah.
Yes.
I know we had other topics, but man, this is like right now. So I'm like, we got to share.
We have to.
We have.
Yes.
Yeah. I got to say, when we were pre-approving her, it was over the weekend, and she looked at 5-6 homes.
Yeah.
And we knew this was coming out, and I've experienced it. So I'm like, whatever you do, I need a contract executed by Thursday night.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, when she found the 6th house that she had really wanted to make an offer on, you were so great at feeling that sense of urgency, communicating that to the listing agent as well. Like, I need to know now. Let's get on the phone now.
Yeah.
You were wonderful at that, because I wouldn't have been able to do that this morning.
No kidding. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that this is a teamwork environment. I mean, it doesn't matter what side of the fence that you're on. Buy or sell, it doesn't matter. It's like, look, we got a really solid offer. This program is in place. we have to get this thing basically signed, sealed, delivered, and done by that night. And if we don't, then you just lost a ready, willing, and able buyer at that point. So then it's like, that's where the listing agent has to have that conversation. And sometimes it may not be so good for the seller, but it's like at the same time, it's like, look, I got you an offer.
Yeah.
This will work, and it's a quick close, 30 days, however many days. It's just, that's what it's all about. It's all about negotiation at this point.
We came out with just our final and best. Like, we need this. We don't have the time to go back and forth. No. Because you saw what happened. Yeah. This agent was at least responsive too. Thank God he was responsive. That was the biggest thing, is that I've been encountering too many times, like even with this client, where we would go and see houses, nobody's answering the phone. What a shame. And then I text, no response. No. And then I finally get a response at like 9 o'clock at night. Oh, I'm sorry, I was at my other job. I'm like, really? Please don't do that. You're doing a disservice to your seller at that point. What is something that you wish you had known before getting your real estate license? Ooh, so I would say the things that I would... things that I wish I knew. Just one thing. Just one thing? I would just say just keeping up with your time management. Keeping up with it. Going from a W-2 job to being a self-employed business owner, it's time management has never been more important. When you're working for a company, here's your 9 to 5. 9 to 5. 9 to 5, here's your schedule. It's consistent. Or if you're working in retail, it's all over the place. Or in restaurants, same thing. It's all over the place. But now, as a realtor, you have to time block everything. And if you don't time block everything, your business is going to fail, because then you get overwhelmed, and it's not a good start getting missed, and it's not a good look for you, because then your clients that you're representing are going to see that you're unorganized, and it doesn't look good for you. Yeah. So sometimes that's one of those big things that we have to address, is time management. So do you actually have on your calendar blocked off time? Oh yeah. I have blocked off time, and actually it's kind of a nice accountability sort of thing, is that I tag my wife in everything. That's smart. Because then that way, like if we try to plan something, she goes, oh, you have these things going on. It's like, yeah, these things are going on, but always make sure that there's one day of the week, nothing happens in that day, because it's purely... there's a life outside of real estate that I have to take care of. There's work-life balance is the corporate jargon. Yes, and honestly, without that, things probably would have been a little more chaotic, and things would have been missed. So I'm glad that we've put that as a major focus in my business, is one day. It's just one day. If she's not working, I'm not, it's family time. Yes. It's uninterrupted, and I like that. I like that. Time traps is something that, even in mortgage too, there's never really anything on fire, right? And if I have an appointment or a podcast, like I block that out, and I will show up red on my calendar, and that's my time. There's not something that is really going to be detrimental if I have an hour for prospecting blocked off. It can wait. Yeah. It can wait. Yeah. So that, I love that, because it's hard to actually follow through with that. It's hard to schedule it and see that I have calls from 10 to 11 and then take a step back of what I was doing, even if I'm not done, and get into what I time blocked. Yes. It's hard. Because that too, and then for me is like right after a phone conversation sometimes, like if I'm sitting down, and I'm on the phone, or if I have my AirPods in or whatever, having scratch paper next to me so I can write things out at the same time. So then that way I know exactly what just happened. These are the things and they're just key bullet points. Yes. Don't be writing like a memoir, a novel as told by Morgan Freeman, if you will. And just write it all down, and just quick things that are important to the situation. Yeah. As long as nobody has a really good memory you know, to be able to recall every conversation. Well, unless you're Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. But.
Either that, or you might be the Dory.
But you're not doing this job.
You might be Dory. You know, you might be Dory from Finding Nemo. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a good tip. I love the time blocking. I love the setting aside for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I actually should be doing better than that. So you've reminded me. It's still early enough in the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back to my calendar, and put some really good time blocking out there. I know I wanted to talk about some other things, but yeah, this has been a long time's up kind of thing. So are you okay about coming back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than happy to come back.
Okay. Because I really do want to say one thing about Mike is super, super knowledgeable on mortgage rates and how the bond market reacts to that. And you do something that I wish more people do. And I just use your info, is your little market updates that you do sitting in the car, and you put it out on social media, and you go, look, guys, this is what this means. So thank you so much for doing that, because you'll tag me, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I don't have to make anything today. So yes, yeah, I'm going to share what Mike said, what he said. All I want to say is right here what he said. So
yeah, this guy right here.
This guy. So please continue to tag me, because it's very helpful and it is accurate.
Thank you.
God damn, it is exactly what people need to hear. It's not making stuff up. It is so accurate that I'm telling you, you missed your calling in mortgage. Because you get it. Thank you.
That's fair. I mean, it's important for us to know this kind of stuff. I mean, with everything that we do every day, it's so volatile, and there's more to mortgages and real estate from a local level.
Right.
Because you have to look at this from a national level. And if you can understand and articulate all that kind of stuff, trust me, I try to do my best to make it as plain English as possible.
Yes.
And
you do a great job.
I try to. So trust me, from that video, I probably have done maybe like 6 or 7 different takes, because then I'm like, nope, that's jargon. Can't do it. Gotta flip it. So,
you do start it with a little tag. What's your tag?
Ooh, yes. It's like, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite realtor, Mike Kingma, back at it again.
Yeah. There you go. Your favorite realtor. Yes. And then he provides the most accurate I have seen coming from the other side on mortgage rates. Yes. So good job on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So with that being said, guys, if you are interested in working with either one of us, first-time home buyers and anyone else looking for investment properties, veterans PCSing to Southern Arizona, please reach out to Mike Kingma. We're going to provide his information below. Fantastic realtor, super knowledgeable, and will get shit done.
Yes.
Yes. And guys, if you're looking for a refinance, yes, interest rates have come down. Jobs reports have gotten improved, and we are seeing some really good movement. We had 4 to 5 month lows. You can reach out to me. I'm happy to help. This is my favorite mortgage podcast, so please like this video, share it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.